I mean, what the hell does that mean? It's got to be serious bodily injury, man. Or
Yes, Judge.
Judge Fleischer isn't your average courtroom judge. He's the cop crusher who exposes lies before they even finish talking.
it's like the dips you're reading these like going through a drive-thru, man. I mean, really, who's writing the reports?
A heated argument between two sisters led to a string of angry text messages, one of them saying she'd slap her and show up at her job. Prosecutors claimed it was more than just words. But when the case reached Judge Fleischer, things took a very unexpected turn.
You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
Yes. Judge, on March 20th, 2024 in Harris County, Texas, officers responded to a terroristic threat call. The complaining witness and the defendant are sisters, and complaining witness say the defendant is not allowed to go into a residence. The complaining witness's son mistakenly let the defendant and her husband in, and they drank a beer. The defendant responded with threatening messages that said the defendant will slap CW and show up at, slap the complaining witness and show up at the complaining witness's job. The complaining witness stated she feared for her safety.
I mean, what the hell does that mean? It's got to be serious bodily injury, man. Or
Yes, Judge.
are we putting everybody in jail now for whatever?
Judge, that's really all I have. Bitch, don't talk out your ass, because I will go to your house and slap you in front of your family. I'll even come to your job.
That's not imminent serious bodily injury. Come on. All right, I'm gonna find no probable cause, ma'am. As the old adage says, sticks and stones, right? Words will never hurt. They actually can. You have to be careful what you say, who you say it to, because it could end you. You could end up in hot water. I'm going to find no probable cause in this case. The idea also is that if you don't have a good relationship with someone, it's probably best not to just inject yourself repeatedly in there because you're asking for trouble.
Judge Fleischer cuts through the noise, exposing weak arguments and standing firm on the law. Another baseless case thrown out, and another reminder that true justice still exists in his courtroom. You can lie to the camera, you can lie to the crowd, but don't even try lying to Judge Fleischer.
Everything in this office report is conclusory, suspicious, aloysius. Is he driving while black?
Judge Fleischer began to question the police report that led to Keon Shaw's arrest for fleeing an officer. Something about the report didn't add up, its details were vague, and the officer's claims seemed strangely incomplete. What the judge uncovered next changed everything.
On October 27, 2024, the officer was conducting a routine patrol on Eldridge Parkway when he noticed the defendant's motor vehicle traveling at an unsafe speed, exceeding the posted 35-mile-per-hour zone. The vehicle then began driving in a suspicious manner by making a sudden left turn on the street and immediately parking on the left side of the road. When the vehicle noticed the officer's fully marked patrol vehicle passing, it immediately conducted a U-turn and got back on the main road. When the officer continued to follow the defendant's vehicle, the vehicle again conducted a left turn and pulled into an alleyway. When the officer initiated his emergency equipment in an attempt to conduct a traffic stop, the defendant's motor vehicle passed multiple safe stopping points before finally coming to a stop after traveling 0.5 miles through a dark and empty parking lot.
What was he doing wrong?
The officer, he was originally traveling at an unsafe speed exceeding the speed limit, 35 miles. He was exceeding that speed limit.
By how much?
Let me see the DMs if he specified. Your Honor, he did not specify. It was just an unsafe speed exceeding the limit. And then
nothing's unsafe to me.
And then he began driving, according to the officer, in a suspicious manner, making sudden turns and then stopping on the side of the road and then getting back on the road once the officer passed. So
anything illegal with that?
I believe it would just be the speed limit would be the point at which the officer.
It's a conclusory statement. We need to have like a workshop on how to write ORs, man, for real. Everything in this office report is conclusory, suspicious, aloysius. Is he driving while black?
If the driver was really going too fast, why didn't the officer issue a speeding ticket? Instead, he charged him with eluding. It almost seemed like he was reaching for something that wasn't there, and what followed showed just how wrong he was.
Call the officer just to see. We don't have an OR. We're just going off of the
Sure, let's do this. I'm going to have them, because I want to make sure if we find probable cause that it's really there. All right, so just hang tight for me. We're gonna have to do a little deeper dive, if you just mind taking a seat for me momentarily, okay? Okay. Don't leave, Mr. Shaw. Yeah,
There was another one, Judge, with the, he said speeding or something like that. It was a fleeing police Shaw. Shaw. Did you make a ruling on PC?
I think we need to do that one too.
So I looked at that already, Judge.
Where's
Yeah.
Mr. Shaw? Okay, come on up, Mr. Shaw. Okay, so Mr. Shaw, we're back on you. So just because we do so much, I tend to forget everything, you know? You're charged with fleeing a police officer, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. We left off because we were doing probable cause, and I had an issue because it seemed like the cause was kind of conclusory at the time. And do you have anything new?
No, Judge, and I agree with the court.
So, okay, I'm gonna find no probable cause.
Dismissing the case.
Find no probable cause. Be careful when you're out there. It's hard enough as it is. Don't give anyone else the power to even bring more, trouble on your life, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, good luck.
The prosecution quickly found themselves on shaky ground as Judge Fleischer began tearing apart the officer's weak claims and missing evidence. What unfolded next was a powerful reminder of how justice should work and who's willing to stand up for it. Most judges would have let this slide, but Judge Fleischer, he turned the courtroom into a masterclass on accountability.
Was walking towards the residence where the murder suspect was.
During this tense court hearing, Judge Fleischer reviewed a case where police had taken down a man accused of interfering with an investigation. But as the facts came out, doubts began to surface.
On March 28, 2025, an officer was in the process of serving a capital murder warrant on a suspect in Harris County, Texas. While conducting a felony stop, the defendant, who was identified by his Texas ID card, pulled up on the officer's perimeter, got out of their motor vehicle and began walking to the residence where the murder suspect was. The officer's supervisor ordered the defendant to stop and stay right there. The defendant refused and continued to ignore officers while walking towards the residence. The supervisor ordered the defendant to step back multiple times and then grabbed the defendant and took him to the ground.
Him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was he the capital murder suspect?
No, Your Honor.
I live there. Stop. Oh, sorry.
I believe that they were in the process of serving a warrant on someone else at the residence, and that's when they came in contact with the defendant. Ordered him to stop. He refused to stop going towards the residence, Your Honor.
Did it serve the warrant? What ended up happening?
Looks like after refusing commands, there was a brief struggle where he was detained.
Was the murder suspect there?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. It does not say. I have no further facts that show.
He turned out not to be the suspect at all, only a resident of the home. Yet when the officer's explanation for probable cause was reviewed, it fell apart under scrutiny, vague, inconsistent, and raising far more doubts than clarity.
Which was complete on the warrant or not, Your Honor, very completed at the time. I just believe that they were in the process and believed him to be at the residence, and that's when this incident occurred.
Read it again. Do you see the line?
Yes, Your Honor. On March 28, 2025, the law enforcement officer and Squad 5 of the Houston Police Department's Gang Division served a capital murder warrant for a suspect observed inside a truck at a nearby residence. While conducting a felony stop, the defendant, who is identified by his Texas ID card, pulled up on the perimeter, got out of the vehicle, walked to the sidewalk, and began walking to the residence where the murder suspect was. The supervisor then ordered the defendant to stop and to stay right there. The defendant refused and continued ignoring officers and walking towards the residence. The supervisor ordered him to step back multiple times, but the defendant was walking.
When you first started, you said they were going to a capital murder suspect in a car.
Yes, Your Honor. That's what. So I was originally reading the summary. I'm going straight from the gems now, Your Honor. It looks like the suspect was observed inside a truck at a nearby residence.
So the suspect is not even in the residence. No.
Then they later state that there was that the suspect, that the defendant here was walking towards the residence where the murder suspect was. I'm not sure, Your Honor, I have nothing further.
I'm gonna find no probable cause in your case. Just be careful, man. When you get into a pissing match with
I understand.
who's gonna win,
They are. I understand.
no.
So in the end, he was arrested for nothing more than trying to go home, a baffling twist that left everyone questioning what the officers were really thinking. This next case isn't just a hearing, it's a reality check for every cop who thinks their badge makes them untouchable.
Officer put
I'm not working on hunches here, man.
and I understand, Your Honor.
We're back in Judge Fleischer's courtroom, and once again, he's faced with a case that reeks of illegal imprisonment. But this time, what he uncovers might be even more disturbing than before.
On February 7, 2025, at approximately 10:08 p.m., the officer was dispatched to a major crash on the 200 block of South US 50 freeway in Harris County, Texas. The officer met with other officers at the nearby gas station where they had moved the scene. The wheel witness stated she was rear-ended by the defendant and was able to put the defendant behind the wheel of the vehicle. The officer observed front-end damage to the defendant's vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and occupant of the vehicle. The officer observed slurred speech, staggering, and disorientation and confusion. The standard fields of writings were conducted, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant stated he did not drink any alcohol that day, and the defendant was read the DIC and refused to provide a breath specimen. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
The judge sounds like there's no probable cause because US 50 is not in Harris County, Texas. It's what the road they said it happened on.
Where is it?
It said US 50. That's not in Harris County.
And the DIMS does say 200 block of South US.
Are you serious? Do I need to look it up? I don't know.
Your Honor, the DIMS further says during the scene of the accident, which occurred on 200 block of South US 59 freeway, Harris County, Texas. But counsel is correct that before they said he responded to a major crash call for service on the 200 block of South US 50 freeway. So they put 50, but then later in the DIMS, they just put 59. So they're just two addresses, so I don't know why that's there. But they did say the accident occurred on US 59.
Well, that would be a different story.
Do you have any other evidence that is pointing to that it's at 59 or is it 50?
So, Your Honor, the only thing we have is that statement from the officer, which states that the accident occurred on 200 block of US 59 in Houston, Texas 77004.
Is that what really happened or was it on 50?
So that's what I can explain is the officer put.
I'm not working on hunches here, man.
And I understand, Your Honor. The officer initially said he responded to a crash call for service, which occurred on US 50, but then later said the accident occurred on 59. So let me see if we
Definitively,
I guess I'll check the OR and see if they clarify in the complete OR.
Time and time again, these cases keep surfacing, filed without real probable cause, fueled by carelessness and incompetence from both officers and prosecutors.
And in the OR as well, the officer says, which occurred on 200 block of US 50, Houston, Texas 77004.
So is 50, it's not in Harris County?
He switches between 50 and 59 in the offense report, Chief.
I know probable cause.
Yes, Judge, and we understand.
All right, Joe.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Lozano, be careful out there. You know what I mean? Really. Just listen to, he's great. He'll help you out whenever you need him, you know? All right, man. Good luck.
Excuse, Judge. All right, I'll meet you in the hallway. Okay.
And just like that, Judge Fleischer delivers justice once again. Another innocent man freed. Another case exposing the cracks in the system. When the truth finally came out, Judge Fleischer didn't hold back. He buried this cop's credibility 6 feet under.
Yeah, the road law officer conducted a traffic stop.
Did we not have this exact one? Was it like yesterday or the day before? Same thing, really?
A man stood before Judge David Fleischer on a weapons charge, but the reason for the stop? Illegal window tint. From the very start, something about that explanation didn't sit right with the judge.
You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You ready?
Judge, I don't think I got that call.
I'll give it to you. 255-9272. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
April 9th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, law enforcement officer He was on patrol when he observed a vehicle with illegal windshield tint and the front windshield traveling down the road. Law enforcement officer conducted a traffic stop.
Did we not have this exact one? Was it like yesterday or the day before? Same thing, really?
I'm not sure about the illegal window.
It was tint and then but there was, on that one, there was something else. Okay, anyways, go ahead.
Yes, sir. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant who was identified by a section driver's license and observed a strong odor of marijuana emanating from the vehicle and his person. Law enforcement officer immediately detained the defendant and asked the defendant if they were presenting marijuana in the vehicle. And the defendant admitted to having half a blunt and a pistol in his glove compartment in the vehicle. Law enforcement officer conducted a probable cause search, which resulted in the finding of a Glock firearm located in the glove compartment and .30 ounces of marijuana. Marijuana in the firearm, where the defendant's care custody.
I find it conclusory as well. What does illegal window tint mean? How is it illegal? Why? You know, it's completely conclusory. Is that the only reason for the stop?
That is the only reason I have to stop here.
Okay. I'm going to find that there's no probable cause to go forward in your case. When you have illegal substances in your car, you are rolling probable cause. Do you understand? Probably. Be careful out there. You get one life. You start racking up convictions, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? Dixie, please.
After tearing apart the vague police report, Judge Fleischer makes his ruling, no probable cause. This cop thought he could outsmart the courtroom, but he clearly never met Judge Fleischer.
You're telling me he strikes someone in a car and then on top of it starts assaulting this person?
Mr. Crothers found himself in court after what could only be described as a Saturday night disaster. He allegedly crashed into a cyclist, assaulted him right after, and then pulled a vanishing act by fleeing the scene, all while suspected of driving under the influence.
On March 2nd, 2024, officers were dispatched regarding a major crash in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officers made contact with the wheel witness. The witness observed the defendant's 2005 gold Chevy strike an unknown person riding a bike with his vehicle.
Whoa.
Bike, yes, Your Honor.
Struck a person?
Riding a bike, yes, Your Honor. The defendant then got out of his vehicle and began assaulting the unknown person and then drove away from the scene.
Whoa. You're telling me he strikes someone in a car and then on top of it starts assaulting this person?
Yes, Your Honor. The unknown person fled the scene, and the defendant was promptly found by officers 1 block away in a private driveway that was not the defendant's residence. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed an odor of an alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, and
Poor balance.
He refused SFSTs. The DIC was read. The defendant refused to provide a specimen. A blood search warrant was signed and executed. He was identified by his Texas driver's license.
I have just so many problems with this.
So, Judge, we have been unable to locate the unknown person that was on the bicycle. He fled because he was getting assaulted. We have no way of finding him.
Not only that, how do I know he's not consuming anything after the fact? How do we know he doesn't go home and chug a fifth of vodka?
The DIMS does say he was promptly found by the officers 1 block away.
I get it. I get it. Promptly is a conclusory word.
Despite all the chaos surrounding the case, Judge Fleischer stays focused. No drama, no distractions, just facts. And as he starts dissecting the prosecution's story, their case begins to fall apart piece by piece.
Anything else? Was that it?
Looking at times, Your Honor, to see if we can establish when he was found based on when he was dispatched. I don't think we have anything additional, Your Honor.
It says, yeah.
Mr. Carruthers, I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. You know, we have enough death. We have enough dismemberment. We have enough blood all over our streets. Please don't add to it. Please just don't kill someone. That's all I'm asking you to do, man. You know, $40, an Uber will take you anywhere you want to go in this county. Anywhere. Please. don't kill someone.
The alleged victim has completely disappeared, leaving behind more questions than answers. Judge Fleischer isn't one to play guessing games, and without solid evidence, this case is hanging by a thread. Some judges look the other way when cops lie, but Judge Fleischer, he digs into every word like a detective on the stand.
How on earth am I supposed to find probable cause when Mickey Mouse is writing these reports?
A man walks in for his second DWI offense, but the prosecutor's report is such a mess. It pushes Judge Fleischer's patience to the edge, and the judge doesn't hold back. And things get tense fast.
On April 25, an officer was dispatched to an unknown accident, and noticed a vehicle, a pickup truck, illegally parked in the front yard of the residence. There were fresh tire skid marks, a broken wheel and axle, visibly appeared to be damaged from the Ram truck to a legally parked red Jeep Compass. The law enforcement officer made contact with the complainant, said that the damage to the Jeep was brought from $5,000. The defendant admitted to driving the truck. It was later identified. The officer also made contact with the wheel witness, who said that he witnessed the defendant in the white truck in the driver's seat behind the wheel and observed him exit the vehicle from the driver's side door. Upon exiting the vehicle, the witness determined he was not stumbling, and then the wheel witness observed slurred speech and strong odor of alcohol beverage emitting from the defendant's breath and person. The defendant also admitted that he was trying to clear the scene and go home, but his vehicle was stolen. The officer made contact with the defendant, who was detained, and noticed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. And the officer then conducted a standardized field sobriety test, where he witnessed. Sorry, Your Honor, the DIMS leaves off and does not show the standardized field sobriety test. The officer asked the defendant his intoxication level. The defendant said he was at a 6 out of 10.
Judge, I'm going to tell you that's kind of where the DWI investigation stops. The first response that I have is that no field sobriety tests were performed. It also, the credibility of the wheel witness was never discussed in the DIMS, whether the officer found them credible or reliable, etc. So I really can't make a lot of sense out of.
It's like the DIMS are reading these like going through a drive-through, man. I mean, really, who's writing the reports?
Yes, Your Honor.
Over and over and over. I mean, really.
The report was a disaster, missing sobriety test results, filled with vague witness details. It didn't take long for Judge Fleischer's frustration to hit a boiling point.
So Judge, things don't say it, don't say what is the results of those field sobriety tests, and we do not have an officer perspective.
How on earth am I supposed to find probable cause when Mickey Mouse is writing these reports?
I don't know why it's not in the DIMS. Obviously, we didn't write it here. We represent what is written in there, and so I understand your frustration. I'm highly frustrated.
Mr. Krubler, I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. Don't kill anyone. You know, every single day on the news, how many people die in our county because of a DWI? How many? Every single day. We lead the nation in alcohol-related collisions and fatalities because of boneheaded moves that are made day in, day out. Now, this is not to say that they may not indict this case at a later time, but whatever, just don't kill someone, please.
He admitted he was a 6 out of 10 drunk, but even that couldn't keep the case alive. Judge Fleischer tossed the entire thing for lack of probable cause. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today, we witnessed how Judge Fleischer stands as a true symbol of justice, fearlessly holding corrupt cops accountable and proving that no one is above the law. Judges like Fleischer restore faith in the justice system by ensuring that truth and accountability always prevail. If you agree that more judges should uphold justice like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more cases where justice is truly served.